Hi and welcome back to another Tech Minds video. Now in this video we're going to take a look at this. It's a wideband full duplex software defined radio that on paper at least looks very similar to an Etus B210 but at a slightly lower price than the original. Now at its core this is a 2 transmit 2 receive full duplex SDR. Now these are designed for serious RF experimentation rather than just casual listening. I think the price kind of reflects that. Now devices like this are commonly used for things like GNU Radio development, custom digital modes, radar experiments, satellite comms, LTE and 5G research, and even ADS-B, AIS and passive radar when configured correctly. Now, if you've ever looked at the Etus B210 and thought it was a bit out of reach price-wise, this is very much in the same category. Wide bandwidth, fast sample rates, FPGA-based processing, but aimed at making that level of SDR more accessible. Now, before we get into performance, software support, and whether it actually lives up to the promise, let's start with the specifications, because they already tell us a lot about what this thing is capable of. Now, the frequency range runs from 70 MHz all the way up to 6 GHz, which means it comfortably covers VHF, UHF, L-band, and well into the microwave region. Now that immediately makes it interesting for everything from amateur radio to satellite work and SDR experimentation. Now it supports an RF bandwidth of 61.44 MHz, and that's matched with a 61.44 mega sample per second sample rate, so you can capture or transmit very wide chunks of spectrum in one go. The 12-bit sample depth gives you decent dynamic range, especially compared to the cheaper 8-bit SDRs. Now this is a 2 transmitter, 2 receiver design. It's full duplex, meaning it can transmit and receive at the same time on independent channels. Now that opens the door to things like MIMO, radar, and serious full duplex SDR applications. Connectivity is handled over USB 3, which is essential when you're pushing this much data back and forth. Now inside, it's an AD9361 RF chipset that's paired with a Xilinx Spartan 6 FPGA with around 100,000 logic gates, giving plenty of room for digital signal processing. Now the onboard oscillator is rated at plus or minus 0.5 ppm, which is more than good enough for narrowband digital modes and frequency stable operation. Now the transmit power is listed at 10 dBm or higher, but that will depend on the band and the configuration that you're using. Now in terms of available ports, on one end there's a GPS antenna connection, although at the time of making this video the GPS is optional and the board has not been released yet. Now, there is also a 10 MHz input, a PPS Connect, there's a 12 volt input, but this B210 clone will happily run with power from the USB, which in this case is USB 3. Now on the other end, there's a TX-RX-A port, an RX2A and an RX2B port, and a TX-RX-B port. Now this particular model came with 4 antennas and a suitable USB cable, so you can just plug it into your computer and start developing. Now before using this on your computer though, you will need to install the drivers. For Linux, it's just a case of typing a few commands from a terminal window. There are also commands at the end of this which will scan your computer system for a connection to a valid UHD device. Now it is essential that you do use USB 3 for the fastest throughput. Now on Windows, it's just a case of going to the Etus UHD GitHub page and downloading the Windows UHD installer. Now this also comes with the same UHD Find Devices application, which will scan for connected UHD devices. Now, if you are a Windows user and just want to use this as a listening device, then SDR Console actually supports these devices. In fact, this was the only Windows application that I could get a full 50 MHz bandwidth working. Receiving VHF ham comms, airband, broadcast radio, or monitoring Wi-Fi transmissions is all possible using SDR Console. But remember, this is just receiving. At the time of making this video, there's no transmit support for the B210 with SDR Console, which we all know can work with Pluto Plus and add-on Plutos and support transmit.
Yeah, hi Derek. Yeah, I've got you on FM. Good strong signal. Do you want to change modes to single sideband? Okay, Derek. I am receiving you. You are much weaker than you were in the FM mode.
Setting 250 degrees and descent altitude 5,000 feet, Z21 November Mike.
Now, for those of you that really want to delve into the special things this B210 can do, then GNU Radio will be your best application to use. Now, personally, I found GNU Radio performed much better on Linux than it did on Windows when handling large data throughput or wide bandwidth up to 56 MHz. Plus, it's a whole lot easier to install extra modules or blocks or flows on the Linux version. Using Ubuntu on a VMware provides great results and works very well, so you do not even need a dedicated Linux machine. Now, if you're not sure what GNU Radio is, well, it's like an application that has building blocks that you can connect together to build your very own software-defined radio software. Now, in this example, we're dragging a UHD source block and a GUI sync. The source block needs to be told the bandwidth and the center frequency. We then send that data to a GUI sync so we can visualize what we're receiving. Now, this example here is showing a 50 MHz bandwidth of the FM broadcast band centered around 96 MHz. Now, this is a great test to ensure your computer has enough power to handle such high volume of data processing. The peaks that you can see there in the middle are individual radio stations, and they look very narrow because we're sampling such a wide bandwidth of spectrum at the same time. Now, the next example is similar to the first, but this time we'll use two channels. This means we can receive two signals at the same time and process them individually. To help visualize what this can do, the spectrum view will show two lines, one per receiving channel. Now, the blue line that you can see there is connected to a receive port which has an outside VHF antenna connected, and the red line is showing what's being received on another receive port where I'm just using one of the little small included antennas. Now, both receivers have the same frequency, bandwidth, gain settings, but as you can see, the red line is showing a reduced signal strength compared to that blue line. Now, this is expected, but it really does show in real time how two different antennas used for receiving the same frequency can differ in performance against each other. Now, as mentioned earlier, this device is full duplex, meaning you can transmit and receive at the same time. We can simulate this with GNU Radio by first creating a source block for receive and then a sync block for transmitting. The sync block will be configured to transmit on the same frequency as the center frequency of the receiving source block. It will also need a signal source, which is connected to the input of the sync block. Now, just remember, source is generally for receiving and sync is for transmitting or outputting to the screen. If we run this, we can now see a single transmission in the middle of that spectrum view. The transmit port and receive ports are separate with their own antennas. Never connect them directly together unless you're going to use some form of attenuators. So what if you want to create a receiver but also demodulate the signal, i.e. actually listen to what is being received? Well, one of the quickest tests would be to create a narrowband receiver. Now, there are a couple more blocks to this workflow, and that's because we need to perform a little more signal processing. The UHD source is fed with a low-pass filter, and then this is sent to the rational sampler. This then outputs to the NBFM receive block, which is then sent to a high-pass filter. The output from the high-pass filter goes through a multiply block, which we can use for adjusting volume control, and then lastly is all connected to an audio sync, which will play the received and demodulated signal through your computer speakers. Now, I know that's a lot to take in, and I did not really cover the specifics of each block. That's because there is actually quite a bit there to learn, but once you've learnt it, you'll find it very easy to use. As well as narrow FM demodulation, you can even demodulate AM and listen to the airband.
Just building plate level 360, conversion speed 250 knots.
Set to London, descend flight level 290 and ASAP 250 knots 100.
Of course, SSB demodulation, along with a whole host of digital mode decoders, are available too. Now this includes GNU Radio blocks for ADSB, AIS, AFSK like packet radio, and even LoRa, where you could receive and decode mesh-tastic packets and even transmit them. Now software-defined radio can be one massive rabbit hole to fall down, especially when you get involved with using GNU Radio to create your own transmitters and decoder applications. Of course, having the right SDR is important. Now, of course, you could just use something like an RTL SDR and not worry about having an expensive SDR that you can transmit to. But you are limited up to around 1.7 GHz with an RTL SDR, where if you use one of these, then you can go beyond 6 GHz. Another benefit of using a device like this is that it has 2 receivers and 2 transmitters built in. Now I have seen people create their own cell network just using one of these devices and some software running on their computer. Now I know I do not cover GNU Radio as much as I would like to on this channel, and maybe I should, but there's loads of tutorials on YouTube already. One particular channel is called Paul Main. Now he has lots of videos covering different topics on GNU Radio, so please go check his channel out and give him a sub if you like his content. Don't forget to comment on his video that TechMind sent you. Now I'll leave a link in the description to this B210 clone if you're interested in getting one. Of course, there are other devices you could use, like the Adam Pluto or a Pluto Plus, but it all depends on what you want to achieve and how many receive and transmit ports that you require. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope I've sparked some kind of interest in your brain, or maybe you already do all of this. I find it very fascinating, and you could spend hours and hours designing and learning and playing with GNU Radio and seeing what you can do with it. Until the next video, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in the next video.